Right, good morning class. At this point we were busy. I gave you guys some homework. And right, the homework was?
Exercise 1.10.
1.10. Not 1.10. Right, 1.10. Even numbers. Any issues with 1.10? Right. So then we went to 1.11, the first column. Any issues there? Any issues? None whatsoever. Right. Now we're going to look at more complex equations involving surds. And we're on page 21. More complex equations involving surds. Okay, so we're looking at the first example on page 21. The question says solve for x, where you got the square root of 2x plus 6 plus 1 equals x. Okay. So the first bullet, we're going to make up the bullet points on solving this equation. So the first bullet I want you guys to write down is to isolate the square root. What does it mean to isolate? What does it mean to isolate? Is to get something on its own, not so. If you guys have corona, they tell you must isolate. What does that mean? You must stay on your own, not so. So to isolate is to get. So we got the first step is to isolate the square root, to get the square root on its own, on one side of the equal sign. So if I'm going to isolate this, what am I going to do? I'm going to take the 1 over the equal sign. So that simply comes the square root of 2x plus 6 equals x minus 1. Have I isolated this here? Yes. Move your hands over, Nazai, off my table. Off, Nazai. Thank you. Have I successfully isolated? Have I gotten the square root on its own? Yes. Next step. The next bullet I want you guys to write down is that now we square both sides of the equal sign. Now square both sides of the equal sign. And why do you think I want to square both sides of the equal sign? So we can eliminate the square root. Not so? So let's square both sides of the equal sign. That's your next bullet. So if I square both sides of the equal sign, what do I get? The square root cancels the square. Leaves you a 2x plus 6 equals what? X squared minus 2x plus. Not so, there's a binomial square now. So say for argument's sake, you are a learner that never understands the binomial square root. No problem. You write the story out twice and you multiply it out. And you will also get x squared minus 2x plus 1. Come, aren't you guys understand it, guys? How much I feel? Come. Come, go. Right. Will you guys understand? Any confusion at this point? None. Okay. Third bullet. Now we're going to write the equation in standard form. Remember, here we squared both sides and simplified. So just add and simplify to that bullet. Come sanitize, Michael. So we're going to square both sides and simplify. Okay? The next bullet is to write the equation in standard form. Am I moving too fast? I feel like I'm moving fast. Okay. The next equation, the next bullet is to write the equation in standard form. Who can remember what's the standard form of a quadratic equation? Ax squared, yes? Plus bx plus c equals 0. That's the equation of a standard form of a quadratic. You all okay with that? So how do I do that? By taking 2x and 6 over. So you got 0 is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 2x minus 6. Add like terms, x squared minus 2x minus 2x minus 4x. 1 minus 6 is negative 5. You all agree with that? Okay? Take off the tape. Okay. The next step is to? What's the next step? Factorize. So if we factorize a trinomial, what are our factors going to be here? 5 and 1. The bigger one must be plus or minus, negative and positive. So at this point we're going to say that x minus 5 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 5. Or x plus 1 is equal to 0, so x is equal to negative 1. You guys understand? Just run through it again. So the first step is, what's the first step? Read what you wrote. Isolate the root. That's number 1. Number 2, what did we do? Sorry? We squared both sides. Okay? And simplified. What's the next step? Write it in standard form, which is x squared plus bx plus c. Thirdly, we factorize. The next step is we solve the equation. Not so? We solve the equation. And the last thing is we need to check if this actually works. Whenever you're busy with a square root like this, you must check, and I'll explain to you now. Okay? Go after we omitted the one of it that doesn't work. Okay? So this is how we check. What we do is we substitute x is equal to 5 into the left hand side. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to say we check x is equal to 5. Let's go with that one first. So if I see x, I put a 5 on the left hand side. Then remember, always use the original equation. Okay? We go to the left hand side, equals the square root of 2 times 5 plus 6 plus 1. What's 2 times 5? 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. Square root of 16 is 4. 4 plus 1 is? Can you see that, people? So once I substitute 5 in the left hand side, this comes to be 5. Let's look at the right hand side. What is the value of the right hand side? What is the right hand side? Just x. So it's just going to be 5. So is the left hand side equal to the right hand side? Yes. So this is actually a solution. Does it make sense? Okay, write this down. Let's check for the other one. Now we're going to check for x is equal to minus 1. We're going to check for x equal to minus 1. What's going to happen to the right hand side? So whenever we see a x, you put a negative 1. So it's the square root of 2 times negative 1 plus 6 plus 1. What is 2 times negative 1? Negative 2. Plus 6, 4. Square root of 4, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. You all agree with that? Check again. 4, 2 is correct. Let's look at the right hand side. What's the value of the right hand side? The right hand side contains the x only. So the right hand side will be equal to what? Negative. Is the left hand side equal to the right hand side? No. So this in actual fact is not a solution. Can you see that, people? And why is that the case? The reason for that is because if you look at the fact that you have, the reason why this is actually the case is because, let's look at the left hand side. Let's go the square root of 2x plus 6 equals x minus 1. Okay? And x was minus 1. Alright. And I put minus 1 in here. You see, if you put minus 1 in here, so it will be the square root of 2 times negative 1 plus 6 equals negative 1 minus 1. Then, you all agree the statement is not true, because I have proved it is not true. Not so. But just bear with me here quickly. We know it's not true, it's not true. Sorry. Not the first one, the second one. Once we did the substitution, it was not true. Okay? This is then going to give us 2, negative 2 plus 6 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. That is negative 2. You all agree that 2 is never equal to negative 2. So this is going from a non-true statement. Can you see here? This is not true. To a true statement. If I square both sides, what's going to happen? 4 is equal to 4. Can you see that? Because this is the case here, this is why the calculation is pushing that out as a solution. Does it make sense? So it's going from a non-true statement to a true statement. Once I apply the square on both sides, then that solution, that other solution actually kicks in as well. Does it make sense? So it's going from a non-true statement to a true statement. Okay? That is why we always have to check if the solutions works. Alright? I think we must do another one, not so? This is a common asked question for 5 marks. Okay. So we're going to do number 4 out of the revision exercise on page 23. I'm going to do in G. The revision exercise. Page, what page was that? 23, 4G. Okay, so this one we're going to do together. So write down your reference along. Okay, so what's the first bullet that we need to do? The first point we need to look at? Isolate the root. So what did we do? Took that 2 over. So you get the square root of 2 minus 7x is equal to x minus 2. You all agree with that? Right. What do we do next? Square both sides. Not so. Let's go square on the side, square on that side. So what do we get? 2 minus 7x is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 4. What did the bullet say? The second bullet say? Square both sides and simplify. What's the next step we need to do? Standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. How do I get that? 0 is equal to what? X squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 2 plus 7x. Now what? Simplify. X squared plus 3x plus 2. You all at that point already? No. What's the next step we need to do? Factorize. Did you guys factorize already? No? Okay. So factorize quickly. Okay, so what do we get? X plus 2, x plus 1. What's the next thing we need to do? Sorry? Solve for x. So x equal to minus 2 or x equal to negative 1. What's the last thing we need to do? Check. Alright? So let's check. So let's check for x is equal to negative 2 first. So wherever we are on the left hand side, we substitute negative 2 wherever you see x. So it's going to be the square root of 2 minus 7 times negative 2 plus 2. That's going to give you 14 plus 2 is 16. Square root of 16 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. The right hand side. What's the right hand side equal to? Negative 2. Is 6 equal to negative 2 correct? Is the left hand side equal to the right hand side? No. So you just pull a line there, no solution on that. You all okay with that? Any confusion? Right. Let's look at the next one. Look at the next one. We checking for x equal to negative 1. So we got the left hand side equals the square root of 2 minus 7 times negative 1 plus 2. What is negative 1 times negative 7? Positive 7. Positive 7 plus 2. It's 9. What's the square root of 9? 3. 3 plus 2? 5. Okay? On the right hand side, just negative 1. So what does that mean? Both is not the solution. Or did I make a mistake somewhere? No. Yes, where's the mistake? Did I make a mistake? Just check the answer. Division exercise, page 23. No solution on both. So this is an example where both doesn't work. Sometimes both works, most of the time one doesn't work, and this time both doesn't. Like in this case. Will you guys understand? You need another one, or you guys understand? Who say they need another one? Alright, good. Your homework, of course, is exercise 1.12. Exercise 1.12, you do for me the odd numbers. Okay. Then I would like you guys to do a hand-in assignment for Monday. A hand-in assignment. And the hand-in assignment is the revision exercise on page 22. Okay? Okay, sorry about that. So you're going to do for me the revision exercise as a hand-in assignment for Monday. Okay? So I will go through it. I will check what the issues are. You must mark it as you previously done. Please mark it in a different color pen so that it's easy for me to pick up where the issues are. Okay. That basically brings us to the end of chapter 1. Alright. So your new heading is quadratic equations and inequalities. Yes, Michael? It will consist of the cycle test on the 15th of February. Will cover the whole chapter 1 and probably the half of chapter 2. So how many days are left before the 15th? 14 days? Many? So we will probably get 3/4 through chapter 2 as well. Okay. So I don't want to tell you it's up until 2.16 and then I'm teaching you till 2.18 or 2. So close to that date we will tell you. Okay. So for tomorrow's lesson, I want you guys to do 2.1. Okay. Exercise 2.1. Yeah, everything for tomorrow's lesson. So you can start with this, with the lesson now, with the homework now, and then tomorrow we'll carry on with that. Okay. So if I don't see you tomorrow, no? If I'm not in school tomorrow, or I miss your lesson, I will be here, but later on. Okay. So if I miss your lesson tomorrow, use that time to go through the revision exercise. I know it's a comprehensive, it's very large, it's a comprehensive exercise. So use that time. Okay. Otherwise, if you see me, don't say you said I'm not going to be no? Alright, so that concludes chapter 1.